Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, good evening, everybody. It's 9 p.m. in Ireland and in UK, 10 p.m. in France. So, and 11 p.m. in Lithuania. So good to have you all here with us today. It's a pleasure to share this moment with these three amazing people. And today we will talk about spiritual and earthly family ties. So for our Irish friends, Fayute, and I hope you enjoy the journey. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone that I linked with us or will be later on with us. It's a great pleasure to be here once again to give our small contribution to this talk, to this topic, and also listen people that write in the chat, giving us tips that we can really discuss in a better way that achieve everyone everywhere. So, obrigada a todos que puderem estar conosco, é com muita alegria que novamente estamos aqui, e como a linguagem do amor ultrapassa o coração e ultrapassa as fronteiras, nós estamos atingindo com o nosso coração, com muito amor, todos aqueles que estiverem conosco. Gratidão.
Boa noite a todos. É um prazer estar com vocês novamente. Muito prazer mesmo estar aqui hoje. E espero que sejam momentos bons que nós vamos passar juntos. Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. May God's blessings be upon everyone. And really happy to be here again. And let's hope we're going to spend some good time exchanging ideas about spirituality today together. Nice to be here.
Bonjour, bonsoir à tous. Merci beaucoup de votre présence. Très heureux de partager ce soir avec vous quelques notions sur cette question de la famille, qui est toujours une question assez délicate, et de partager aussi cette fête nationale française, le 14 juillet, avec vous tous, voilà, pour être ici et puis vous transmettre quelques informations dont on a pu bénéficier, en espérant que vous puissiez aussi en bénéficier. Hello everyone, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. Very happy to be with you again today. This National Day of France, 14th of July, in order to share with you some information we got about the family ties, questions which are always a little bit delicate and sometimes deeply misunderstood. So thanks again for being here with us.
Okay, good. Just before we play our video today, let me just give introduction about today's topic. There are our family ties and there are earthly ties. So we are linked with spiritual brothers and sisters and families, and also we are linked with the family we were born today. Okay. The book, I think his name is Study and Life from Chico Xavier and Valdo Vieira, says family is a consanguine group to which you are linked by remnants of the past tense or impositions of affinity with a view to personal improvement. It means like the earthly family, the family you born today, you are linked with them for some reason, for some events from the past, or you are in that family in order to help you, or you help them to progress, to evolve. The real family ties are not those of consanguinity, but those we have sympathy and communion of ideas. So when we develop that feeling, sometimes we can say, I have more I have more affinity with that my friend compared to my sister or my brother. You know, this is not happening just by chance. There is a reason for that. There is a logical and wise reason why this happened, and we will discuss today, and we will see how it can be connected. Okay, so now I will play the video, and after this we keep going on our discussion here.
Why on earth did I have to come this family?
There's no sound.
Okay.
Love every single person in our family? Probably not. No one of us do have a perfect family. That's only.
Okay, guys, my bad. Technical problems. It happens in all families. No worries. Let me stop sharing. Okay. Okay. I want this in the share out. Okay. Now we're gonna work. Now it's gonna work.
Why on earth did I have to come exactly to this family? You might like your family a lot, a little, or might not like it at all. Doesn't matter. Family is so important in everyone's life. Family is our first resource. It's the ones who are closer to us, who can help us in life, and we can help them in life as well. How Spiritism sees family. Are you fine with your family? You love every single person in your family? Probably not. No one of us do have a perfect family. That's only on commercials, on TV commercials, right? How does Spiritism explain that? Well, if we are all spirits, as we are, and if we are reincarnating, people that are around us in our family are spirits that are connected with us in some way. Maybe it's a good connection, maybe we're really close friends to these people, maybe we have lived other lives or past experiences with them, and we love them, and we come together again to improve this relationship, to do good for the people around us, and maybe not. Sometimes in our family comes a spirit or two or three or many that are not yet so well connected. Maybe with us, our brothers, sisters, wives, husbands, children, brothers-in-law, whatever. Maybe there is some problems between us. Maybe in the past we had a fight. Maybe we were partners in a business and one stole the other guy. Maybe I killed someone and this person comes back with me as my brother or my sister or my wife. The relationship will be a bit tough. But that's exactly why we are together in a family, to try to recover this relationship, to try to become better acquainted with them. And it's in our interest to improve this relationship. So the tip there is the following. If in your family there's not everything is fine, if there are some people that you don't really go well with them, those are the people you should address to. Those are the people you should make a stronger effort trying to get acquainted, trying to be well with him or her. Try to understand this person, try to have more patience, try to put yourself in this person's shoes to understand the way he or she sees life. The opportunity you're having together in the family is the opportunity you need to recover this relationship. We are here reincarnating to evolve mentally, intellectually, and also morally. And the family is the best laboratory for that.
You're on mute, Stevan.
Okay, so yeah, today it's a live broadcasting from the YouTube, so it's kind of dodgy. Okay, so as we explain in the video show perfectly, we are in the family we have to be in. So we are not like an ugly ducky in the middle of that family. No, if you're born in that family, it's because everyone needs to work together. Everyone needs to make the peace, let's say it is, or not. Sometimes it's very difficult. And based on this, Charles, it's good to give to our friends here, why do family conflicts occur? What's the reason behind it? Because a lot of people say, "Hey, I don't belong to this family. I'm wrong place. I'm born in a different place. I perhaps I was adopted." So, do you have any consolation for us?
Yeah, let's try. So again, I mean, we talked already in the previous emission, previous life, that about the reincarnation. And again, everything is explained by the reincarnation. We talked also, we said also that generally, in the most of the cases, we are ourselves selecting the family where we will reincarnate. It's our choice most of the time. Again, not 100% of the time. Some spirits are in difficult situation and cannot do this choice, so this choice is done by the spiritual mentors for them. But most of the cases, me, for instance, I'm sure I selected the family in which I was reincarnating. And I know also that I got the agreement of my father, of my mother, even my future father, my future mother, and even my future brothers and sisters to reincarnate together in this family. So that's one point. Second point, it has been very well explained in the video, and also you repeated it, Stevan. Family is what would you select as a family? Of course, everyone would say, no, let's select a good family where there is a harmony, a good relationship, and so that we can build something good together and so on. Okay, but sometimes we also, as it has been told in the video, for instance, if we kill someone and then we have to try to find a way in order to be forgiven for this and all these things we have done. And then, as it's very well told in the video, the relationship will be a little bit tough, isn't it? I like this expression. And it's exactly like this. If, for instance, I killed someone in a previous life, I would try to reincarnate as father or as mother of this other spirit, knowing that even if there was some reasons, difficult reasons for this murder and whatsoever, this paternal and maternal love will help a lot to take care the best possible way of this spirit as a child, for instance, and that this care taken for the child will help this child to the spirit to forgive all this prejudice I have caused to him in the past life. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes the spirit is not ready to forgive, and it will take longer than just one life in one family. And this is then explaining why there are some children, for instance, which are really, they don't like their father, or they don't like their mother, or whatever. It means that these things from the past are stronger, and the spirits are not yet ready to forgive. So it will have to be done in further steps to reach the goal. Nevertheless, I mean, even if we are not forgiven, if we have done the utmost on our side to help the spirit, to treat him well, and so on, we have already done our part. If then the spirit, the other part, does not forgive us, okay, patience. The most important for us is our attitude in order to make the best to reconciliate, but the reconciliation needs, the positive actions from both sides. At least we did the positive action on our side, and then we have patiently to wait the positive action also coming from the other side, which will sooner or later come. And the fact we have been good with this person is, of course, helping a lot to have also the positive reaction from the other side. So most important is exactly this. So today, what do we see in our modern society? The family ties are not so strong anymore. Families are a lot dissolved, and very easily at the first problem, first instance of difficulties, and so on. And that was already a problem in the past centuries, since Kardec, in the chapter 7 of the Spirit's book, where there is a section, The Law of Society, he explains very well why this the human being is done to live in society, because one has a duty to help the other. The family is a reduced model of the society where we live. We learn to live together in the bigger society, which is the whole humanity. It's a kind of a school, the family. And Kardec asked even to the spirits, question 775, what would be the result for society if family ties were relaxed? And it's exactly what we are observing today, isn't it? So because of facilities, because there is, of course, not anymore the dependency, because the husband and the wife are working and are more or less independent financially and so on. So there is a lot of reasons who are doing this relaxation of the family ties. And the answer for the spirit of the spirits is quite short, but very, very strong. It's the answer is a magnification of selfishness. And again, it's a little bit what we see today. Oh no, I'm better alone. Why do I lose my time in having these things? Why should I make efforts for this, that, and so on? So again, we can see that, of course, not always. Often it's a question of selfishness. Of course, when in the family there are huge problems, violence, and risk of life for one or the other, that's a different kind. Nobody is also condemned to stay its whole life in a family where the relationship is really, really too difficult. So of course, Spiritism is not against divorce, for instance. It's even understanding that what is not anymore united by spiritual ties, what is already somehow dissolved spiritually, then it's just a question to dissolve it also materially. Voilà. So, but anyhow, we have to think twice always, because of the children, for instance, which are suffering a lot for this type of situations. The fact that we have in the family an opportunity to solve problems, so we should not lose this opportunity, because sooner or later, anyhow, we will have to solve the problems. So better to solve it now than to procrastinate and to leave it for later. And this question is also explained by Allan Kardec in the Gospel, section 14, which has already been quoted here by you, Stevan. this famous chapter taking from the quote in the Gospel, which is honor your father and your mother. And there is an example of Jesus himself, his family, when his brothers were coming, telling to the people, our brother is crazy, he should come and stay home and whatever. Jesus reacted quite strongly, and he asked, who is my mother and who are my brothers? And he was already explaining what you told, this there are spiritual ties which are stronger than just material ties. Of course, the mother of Jesus, Maria, she was really, how to say, very, very kind and strongly loving her son, but she was also loving the other sons. So she was in a difficult situation at that moment. But Jesus did not hesitate in telling, my family is the whole humanity. Is all these people who I'm here to help, to assist, and so on, and cannot be restricted, confined exclusively to this small family where apparently, obviously, the brothers and sisters of Jesus did not have such big affinity one with the others. And that was also the big lesson of this corporeal kinship and spiritual kinship. And this, in the Gospel, is also writing about the children's ingratitude. And this is also very, very strong and difficult questions, because it's hurting a lot for the fathers and the mothers. But again, it can be understood by the same reason, exactly with the explanation I have given. And this is helping then this father and this mother to understand the reason of this difficult and painful attitude from the children, in order to cope better with it and to overcome it, and even to find ways to smoothen it, or maybe even to resolve it. So this is what I wanted to comment, hoping having answered to your question, and also to the questions of all the people participating to this live, and that will see the video later on. Thanks a lot for your attention.
Thanks, Charles. Well, brilliant connections with the books written by Kardec. Thank you very much. Also, we want to say thank you and hello to our friends, Maria Eugenia, which is in France, not in Germany today. Gabriele Lima, she's in Northern Ireland. Good to have you here, Gabriele. And Lily Maya, good to have you here, Lily. And we do have a question here, but I think it's kind of answered. And I will leave the question. I will say the question, but we can, after the presentation, we can comment something if something is left behind. How can we understand the universal family if we still find it difficult to live with and accept our current biological family? Where to start?
So,
okay,
if you allow me,
yeah,
so
sure.
it's exactly what I just told. The start is exactly in the current biological family. That is the school where we learn to live together in society, respecting anyone, the rights and the freedom of the others, of the neighbors, and where we also learn to cope with, to learn from the most evolved spirits than us, and also to help the less evolved, or to evolve as well. So this is a big reason, this big solidarity, which is learned first in the human family, before to generalize into the universal family. And one point that I just would like to add from my past speech is, I just saw a point that I forgot to explain, is when we suffer from ingratitude of children, for instance, it can also be as a reason that if we have been with ingratitude with our father in a previous life, sometimes it helps us to feel in our skin what we have done suffering to the others. So this can also be a reason of our choice of a family and to go through this type of trials. But anyhow, one thing is sure, we are all sons of the same Father, which is God, who created all the universe and also all the spirits, incarnated and discarnated, which are living in this universe. So we are the same family, more or less evolved. We have more evolved than us helping us, and we have the duty also to learn from them and to help the one which are less involved than us, which are brothers and which also will grow into this evolutional pathway.
Thanks, Charles. Thank you very much. So that is no other way to ask Silvia.
Okay.
What we learn living, what we have to learn living with family, either if we have a good relationship or bad relationship.
Yeah. Yes, this is a continuation really of everything we are talking about. But I just like to say something going to what Charles had said before, because sometimes the ingratitude of the children also come the way you bring them up. You know, the present parents don't not always fulfill the mission of telling the children what's right and wrong. So at times they are leaving their consequences of their own bringing up, isn't it? So I think one of, I'm going to quote something actually here from Emmanuel, and it's very much from the question that was asked before as well, if you allow me, please, because I think it's clearer. He says, we are brothers and we have one family, universal family. But until we reach the level of fraternity, universal fraternity, we need to reincarnate in small groups for us to learn and go from learning to learning, from reincarnation to reincarnation. So eventually it's through going through the small groups and having difficulties and trying to overcome them and learning, is that eventually we will find ourselves in the middle of one family, that everyone, we have the same respect and love for everyone, and it will take some time, but that's why we are incarnating in small groups. And this, being in the small groups and the small families, we're there because we need, as it was mentioned before, we bring something from the past, and in our families we will have people who are friends, who have affinity with us, people who were part of our family in past lives. But we also will find, I think, some that are enemies, people who, like Charles explained, something that we have unfinished business with. So that's why we are going to be born in the same family, to learn from each other, to learn to forgive. And this is all part of the process of spiritual advancement and development and learning and becoming more understood. Sometimes also in a family we will have someone who is a stranger to the family. In certain situations, someone who have a lot of problems, whatever they are, and they cannot cope living in the family of their family group. So because some of the parents will be kind and caring, and they will accept a stranger into the family, so they can learn new lessons, maybe someone who didn't really value the family they had, always creating problems. They are going to be born somewhere else where they are strangers, so they have to learn to respect people. There are so many. I think one of the most wonderful things about Spiritism for me is that there isn't a single point that's all for everyone. Every case is a different case. There is always some lessons to learn, and learning in a family, learning with the people who are closest to us, is sometimes the most difficult. But also when we overcome this, we are rewarding, it's rewarding for us to be able to have someone who maybe was not a friend to become a friend, to become a brother, and this friendship will last forever. Also, I think the point is as well that we may be in the family with people who have difficulties, maybe not only with us, sometimes mostly with us, but sometimes they have difficulties. And I think what Emmanuel says is that if we have already learned some things, if we have already learned a little more spirituality and understanding, we can help those people who are less advanced than us. They still keep resentment, they still keep hatred. I think Charles mentioned something like this when he was speaking. So I think mostly what we need to do is to really go deep into patience and understanding and respect, and try to, by our own example, help the people who are there going through many difficulties. It's easier said than done, I know, because families, it's an envelope, really, isn't it, family? But I think once we do this, because I think before we may have gone through the same situation, and other people helped us, other friends, other who are now members of a family, and those whom we love deeply. They might be in the past those who reach out for us, reach out to the arm of security, of respect, of understanding. So we ourselves in our turn have been helped. So we have now the responsibility of helping others who maybe are not still in the same level of understanding that we have reached. So that's something important. Another thing as well, in living in family, sometimes, there are periods of very many difficulties. Becomes quite hard, and there are a lot of fights and quarrels and discussions and everything. So at this time, if a member of a family have made a terrible mistake, normally it's quite easy to go into criticism and accusations and all that kind of thing. And I think what we learn from these lessons is that it's not up to us to accuse anyone. It's to help us, for us to be there and sustain the people so they find out for themselves what they've done and they can come to their own conclusions. For us, it's to help and sustain. And when we don't know what to do, and the situation is so demanding and can be quite difficult, then, we can turn to prayer to ask for God, spiritual benefactors, whenever we accept, for guidance to help us, because we teach by example, not by condemning or keeping resentment or being angry with the person. And, once again, I know this can be quite difficult in the family, because sometimes the people that we love the most are the ones that we hurt the most. We can be hurt outside and we won't be able to answer back. And then when we come home, sometimes we lash out to the people who are there, and because it's easy and we can hurt them and they can hurt us, it happens the same. So we need to be very aware of this, that the people who are there, you have to be a Samaritan outside of the home, but also inside of the home. We need to be good and caring and respectful to everyone, especially those that are much more difficult for us to cope with. They are the ones who need more effort for us to make in relation to them. So I think once we are able to do that and to see the person as a brother in need, and we can, maybe solve problems of the past and really and truly become a brother. It's like Jesus said, go first to your brother and ask his forgiveness. And then, go and give your gift to the altar. And I think once we build a friendship with our brother, he'll be with us forever. I think sometimes there are families that there is really almost unbelievable the situations that are there. But I think, if everyone stops and do their little bit, their little part, then it will be easier. I think in many situations we can be the ones who stop the circle, the vicious circle of anger and resentment against members of the family. Because, as I said, once we can overcome this and become friends, we will have a friend for life. I think I will stop here, because I can go on forever. But I think I don't know I hope that answers the question anyway.
Great. Thank you very much, my dear. See, Gabriel just said, wow, I did need to listen it. Thanks a million for your time, friends. So that's good. Thank you very much for interactions. And also, Gabriel says, Spiritism is quite a comfort to our hearts. It is, my friend. It is. It is. So thank you. So we understood. I know that the discussion here it's too broad. We have material here to talk about a seminar or 2-day seminar. And we try to just to get like few most important questions in 1 hour, and we have seen Charles explaining the nature, the reason of these conflicts, why sometimes I feel bad in my own family, and why I think sometimes I'm in heaven. Okay? At the same time, Silvia brilliantly explained to us what we need to learn. I cannot modify, you cannot change your mom. Say, you are not my mom, you can delete and have another mom. No, if you're born with that mom, and again, that is no mistake. If you're born in that family, it's because you need to work something else with that family. Okay? But let's say after this discussion here, you understand, you really start to rethink about some concepts, some preconception, let's call it, you have about all these family ties. And I want to ask to Elsa, what we should learn, let's say accepting this, okay, I cannot change it, I need to move on, I will stick here and I will win this task, this challenge. So what we need to learn from the lessons with my earthly family and the support given by my spiritual family.
I think the discussion is very important, especially nowadays that people are in small confinement places, etc. They have to see each other all day long, etc. And the spaces that we are normally having work outside, come and go, and now we stay more time together. Children, cats, dogs, parents, relatives, etc. Sometimes in the same house because the lockdown. But we first, in Spiritism, our studies, when people comes for the first time and complaining about a son or a daughter or a husband, that there are difficulties in their families, they are thinking separation, divorce, etc., because they don't understand more each other. And normally we explain to them that there is a reason for that. They have to try everything to live together. But as Charles pointed, Spiritism is not against divorce or whatever. But we have to try. Otherwise, I separate from here, go there. I separate from there, go there. No, we plan first, we plan everything in our life, the spine of our life, we plan in spiritual world. So we know that we got marriage or not got married, children or no children. So everything's planned there, even choosing the children that we will receive in our family. There are cases, I think everyone that is listen now can remember, have families that are two children, very nice indeed, and one is completely different. And the husband and the wife, they suffer with this child. We call a black sheep. But as planned in the spiritual world, these four, two children, good ones, and the parents, they combine to stay together to receive the one that could be, in past lives, an enemy, or the ones that devastate families or whatever. So this child, by maternity, starting love, the mother caring, but later on can develop this kind of unconsciousness, remembrance from the past, is this starting fighting. So many difficulties. But when the family stay together, helping this third child, could it be other child? Because I have friends that has 11 children, and still all of them, they are grow up in beautiful, 11 children, Marcinha, from north of Brazil. And my dear friend was 15, 10 from the couple, my friends, and 5 adopted children. So they were contributing to this spiritual family that who Guilherme was asking before, preparing now in this incarnation or in this family or in physical body, we can prepare to accept how to grow up together as a family to help to grow up humanity towards goodness. But there are 2 points that I want to think about. First, there is no victim. There are no victims in our families. One thing, everything is related to the cause and effect. As we explain to parents or people that come to our Spiritist Center and start studying the Spiritist book, the Media's book, start studying Spiritist teachings. So slowly they acknowledge why they are having so difficult at home or difficult parents, okay? And even people that comes, especially here in the UK, that they for 10 years, they don't speak with their relatives or parents, mother and father, they don't speak. And father died. So they comes and, okay, you can help me because for 90 years, I didn't speak with my father, but he passed away. I wasn't there. I want to know how I can contact him. Okay, things like that. So while we are incarnated, we should do our best in order to be connected, to communicate, to forgive, to be in silence, to understand, and stop put in other people's shoulders our mistakes. This is one thing that fighting families, because the ones that, oh no, it's your fault because this is happening. And the other said, no, it's your fault. We have to see, perhaps it's my fault. I have to see what I'm doing in order to make this tragedy, this problem, this fight in the family. And you'll be in silence and reflect and go inside and see which a prayer or meditation, perhaps I am the ones that in the past make a fussy, make a problem in the people's lives, and now we are together in order to grow up our love, our care, our understanding, because there is no victim at all. So is one point that important. We remember that we planned our family before. So we planned our family before, and we should stay together as much as we can for the children grow up. But if in any case have to divorce, and the children, of course, will be problems or depression if the couple don't really organize the separation as should be this time, this moment, and the children starting suffering because the children are the or can say the gun or the arm or the defense against each other. So put in the children's shoulders everything. So no, you're not going to your father's house because he's this and that. You're not going to our mother's house because she's this and that. No, be careful, parents. Be careful, because the moment now to grow up together, and as people say, the metaphorically speaking, you should eat 1 kilo of salt together in order to know each other. Or for you to cook and use 1 kilo of salt in your plate, to take sometimes 10 years. So in 10 years, you develop this knowledge, how to live together, how to accept things, how sometimes do a step back in order to listen more, to see more, and to live a better life, to listen to your children, to help them. Don't put your mind only, no, I have to work, I have to be a good lawyer, it's my profession, and leave your child in third hands or foster care or whatever. One thing for each time. I have to grow up my children, take care of my children, take care of my home, my relationship with my husband. Everything is solid now, is based, is grounded. Now I can dedicate to do this, to do that. Or you should have the other way, but really not damaging or put the other people's shoulders, your wishes, your desires, your problems. That normally is this kind of things that make the families suffer. And we have to prepare our family ties from now to the future. So if we take care of each one in our family in such a way that we are understanding, living together, sometimes have difficulties, of course. It's not, it's normal to have difficulties nowadays, isn't it? But in a different way, not only shouting, fighting, blaming God for this, or blaming God for that. No, stop a little bit. Think in a model, a good model, this is Jesus, how we can live a better life now for the future, to have a better life again and again, accepting things, meditating some things, changing the way sometimes we behave, and being silent sometimes, or a bouquet of flowers to your heart, to your wife, or make something different in order really to live in a better way this laboratory that is our family. Okay. I am a mother of 3. I have a wonderful husband. Was my hero in this life. 23 years together until he died. Yeah? And my family is a great family. My children know how to deal with the cancer, with the problem, with the challenges in a different way, with loss of money, lack of money, housing burning. So many things. So they received attention. And now this freedom comes to our minds that we did our best. And we are, of course, harvest the best thing that we can do in our life. That is love, friendship, kindness, so many good fraternity, so many good things. So, my dear friend, I think I prepare things to say, but I didn't say what I prepared. I prepare now for the heart, Stevan. So, as usual. But there is nice to talk. Thank you very much.
As usual, we all prepare things to say and we don't say. Yeah.
Oh, Gabriel Inácio has something very important there to say.
Yeah. Gabriel saying here, my wife had 3 children when I met her, and then we had a boy together. I took them all to FESP since the beginning. Even though they learn a lot nowadays, the oldest one not even talk to me anymore. They are living by themselves. Anyways, now you can see how much I need to listen. Thanks for this blessed, comfortable message. I pray to God to illuminate and help them always. At least I know I have to be patient and do my best. That's it.
I think that to say what he said is very important, Inácio, isn't it? He said, because sometimes, Gabriel, one thing that, you know, even though we're in the same family, everyone has free conscience. They can make their own choices. And sometimes people feel that they need to move on and get new experiences. And I think what he said that is very important, because to have patience and to pray for them. Because if you send good thoughts and prayer to them, eventually they'll come back. Because, you know, the world is a very, very... there's not a very nice stepmother. And sometimes, you know, you're looking back in situations of your own life, and you'd be so annoyed with your mom because she did this and she wouldn't allow you to do that. And you think, oh, and now, you know, looking back, you're so grateful. You're so grateful that you had someone who cared for you, who gave you boundaries. And when you see sometimes half of the world a bit lost, you know, you lift your thoughts and say, thank God for that mother who wouldn't allow me to just do whatever I wanted. Because and you always go back to your nest. You always go back. Just leave the door open and your heart open, and pray and send the best thoughts to them. And, you know, eventually they will come home, I think.
Yes. Yeah. So, any final consideration, Charles?
You see, sometimes we say we prepared something and say something else. That's also part of this type of life, because of live meetings. The inspiration is pushing us to say something touching the heart of the auditors, and that's what's the most important. And yes, really, this family question is a difficult one. And I liked also what Silvia told. And I would even add to that inside your family, the family members know you very well sometimes, very, very well. So when a conflict appears, they know where it hurts and where is your sensible points and so on. And this makes sometimes conflicts even, tougher to overcome than conflict that we can have in the street or at the work or somewhere else outside of the family. So this is showing exactly how important it is to cultivate the best we can this good relationship, and to try always to find ways and solutions in order to pacify and how to say, to stay calm and whatever, and when the difficulties are appearing, because again, difficulties always will appear in the family. We are not perfect. We have a lot of problems of these tough things we have made, wrong things we have made in the past, and that today we are somehow trying to how to say, to wipe out, to overcome, to repair what you have done wrong, and so on. And that's our mission. This is how we will evolve. This is how we will go slowly but surely towards happiness.
Yeah.
I think before, I know that Stevan will ask me to say final words, but I'm thinking here, I want to leave you one thought, which everyone that will listen later on, perhaps, that if you have in your family or relatives or parents that you are not talking for any reason for such a long time, 1 year, 10 years, depend. Be humble. Put a step forward. Go, call, send a message with a humble heart in order to put a light in this relationship. Don't leave too long for later. We don't know tomorrow. And the life goes on. Everyone will be together in spiritual worlds or in dreams. If someone departed before you, give this step towards him or her. Say hello, send a flower, send a message, or even say, forgive me, Doesn't matter if you are not the one that made the mistake, but give this chance to you, because your conscience later on will say why you didn't do that before. Okay, we help in spiritual spiritist center to talk with a lot of people in this situation. Always, you sometimes call the phone and say things like that, and I see how much they are suffering because they lost the opportunity to say, "I love you, Father," while they are here on earth in physical body. Okay, do that. You don't diminish yourself if you do that. You only grow up towards the eyes of the spiritual benefactors that will inspire you and inspire the person. Okay, thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you, my dear. Silvia, do you have any?
No, I mean, I think it's very, it's such an important subject, isn't it? There are so many difficulties and that we face in a family, but I think we need to hold on to the good moments as well that we have, hold on to the good memories, because it's not bad all the time. It can be, but and just to, I think the point that Elsa made, it's very important. Reach out, send a letter if you don't want to phone, or send a letter, a card, thinking of you, just a few words. I think it's important to reach out, and I think we've been through terrible lockdown, and we're still going through many places. And I think one thing that came out this year, you'll not be able to see your family at all. Some people are not able to see their parents or their brothers and sisters. And I think that must have shook a few people, because they didn't have a choice. So I think, reach out to people, because it's important, not for them so much, but for yourself.
Thank you, my dear. And we do have a quick question here from Guilherme Diaz. In well-developed countries, there is apparently a distancing from God. Could this be one of the reasons for the family distance?
I think it's the other way around. I think, I don't know if I'm jumping in here. I don't know. I think maybe it's the other way around. The fact that we are not close to our families. I mean, of course, we are living different world now. You can just jump in a flight, and 12, 13, 20 hours later, you're in the other side of the planet. And so many families, until not long ago, some families would not live, like away 50 miles from their family. And now you live away and everything. So it's difficult to be close, but distance, physical distance, does not mean that you're not close. And I think we are distant from God because we are not close to our own families, because we cannot learn to love God and be close to Him if we're not close to our own, the family, our dear ones that we learn to love, closest to them. I think it's once we are closer to our family, we make an effort to love God. It's just something that flows from it, I think. Personally, that's how I feel.
Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you, Munir. Good to have you here. Maria Eugenia, merci beaucoup for all use. Now this is German. This is for Charles. B is not. I cannot even try to read. I leave for Charles. And thank you all. Let me also.
It means see you next week.
See you next week.
Yes, bis nächste Woche.
Okay, but this is German, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let me share my screen again, and it's important. Wonderful event will happen on the 11th of September. It's called Science and Spirituality. It's a lot of doctors, PhDs from different universities, University of São Paulo, University of Oxford, University of Lund, University of Duke in the US. So it's excellent let's say excellent people here who you talk about where are we and what lies ahead. So don't miss it. I will put it here on the chat, the link for the website. And
they are top in the fields. Okay.
Yeah, they are top in there. Yeah, exactly. So all of them they have PhD. So this means they have studied a lot to say what they will talk about. Okay, so more details you can find in this website, www.cienciaespiritualidade.com.br. And that's it. That's it for us today. Hope everything is fine. Once more, thank you, Charles. Thank you, Silvia. Thank you, Elsa. Probably Elsa had some problem with the internet connection, and she's gone. No, she's here. She's back. She's back on time. Yeah, she's back. So good to have you all here. It was a pleasure sharing this moment, learning a lot with you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I wish you all a good rest of the week, a good night, and good reflections about family.
May you God be with you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. God bless. Bye. Bye.